Braden.
This is not your best rating system. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it isn't.
This isn't gonna. This isn't gonna
bad.
match. The scores aren't gonna match up for me at all because I'm not gonna fucking miss Jean Grey and disintegrate over like never watching this movie. So 0.
Yeah, I figured I have to do the lowest, the least one.
Fucking 0, dude. I'm not gonna kiss that bitch. I'll watch the first X-Men. I'm fine with that.
Okay, fine. I don't know a better rating system, so I'm sticking with this, and this is how we're doing it.
Flagpole. What did you say? Flagpole.
Take your stinking paw off me, you damn dirty egg!
No! You're a wizard, Harry.
In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you.
And I care! What is the deal?
No, do me a favor, Captain. Go fuck yourself.
Language. Why so serious?
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm vengeance.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Andrew, you know what happens?
Yo.
You know what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning?
I don't know. Does its butthole like shoot out its tongue or something like that? I don't know.
The same thing that happens to everyone else. But Andrew, we're not alone this week either. We got
Whoa, we're not?
yeah. I would say we got our first guest on the show, but he's actually back on the show. We had him back in like way back early days of the show, 2020. Darren, and he was also on my other show, Giggly Gorillas. You should go listen to that. We ranked all the DCEU movies. Spent 3 hours having a nice conversation. But Darren, what's up?
Hey, buddy. Thanks for having me back. Twice in 1 week.
Different shows though.
Easy.
Different shows though.
Yes. Oh, yes. Completely different things. But 4 hours on a call was kind of nuts. Like, I was tired.
Well, you know, that's what happens here. We just keep talking. We're talking about the X-Men movies, though, if you did gather that from the intro. The original trilogy.
Which X-Men? Ooh.
The original trilogy, to be more specific. So X-Men, X2, in some countries called X2, X-Men United, and X-Men The Last Stand.
Yes, and for everybody listening, Darren is a certified X-Men expert. There is nothing that he doesn't know about the X-Men. So make sure to leave any X-Men questions in the comments. He knows exactly who Wolverine married in the 1984 run. He knows.
Oprah.
You motherfucker, you just made me spit my fucking coffee out.
Ask me anything. I'm ready.
So he married in 1984.
I wonder how old Oprah was in 1984.
Oprah.
That makes me wonder, was Wolverine a pedophile?
And we know Wolverine was old as shit in 1984. That man's been alive for centuries. X-Men. I guess we're gonna start at the first one though. Speaking of Wolverine, that's like there's like a whole 10-minute prologue of like just setting up Rogue and Wolverine basically, and Wolverine's just cage fighting. Rogue, like her first boyfriend, he basically kills the guy because oh no, her power is so cool, but it would suck so much to be her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, man, I can't kiss this woman.
Just a sidebar for a second. Oprah was 30 years old in 1984, so Wolverine confirmed not a pedophile. Okay,
thank God.
We can continue. We don't have to cancel Wolverine.
Yeah, we don't have to cancel Wolverine this episode. Maybe next episode, though.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. You'll have to keep listening.
Talking about the cage fighting thing real quick, though. I like how that guy is like, what did he say? Don't kick him in the nuts. It'll just piss him off or something like that.
He'll take it personal. Don't kick him in the nuts because he'll take it personal.
Who wouldn't take a kick in the nuts personal, though?
Yeah,
That's
right?
what I want to know. And he's just sitting there smoking a cigar. I wish he would have kept the cigar in his mouth the whole time. That would have been kind of funny.
So Wolverine's, that's like his only body part that's not adamantium. Because it's like it's like the only body part that's not bone.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dude, that's crazy to think about. I never thought about that until today, and I don't know if I want to keep thinking about it. Yeah, what's crazy?
Well, I was thinking about it, and like, Deadpool gets shot and stuff like that, and he's like, he just doesn't really care. It's just whatever to him. Why does Wolverine react like when he gets like stabbed and shot and stuff like that? why would he not be exactly like Deadpool and just kind of like shrug it off?
I don't know. I know Deadpool's healing factor is like the best in the whole Marvel universe, but Wolverine's is right up there, isn't it? Like Wolverine's and Hulk's are like right up there with Deadpool's, as far to my knowledge. So I don't really know. And
I
also, he's
guess.
got a fucking adamantium skeleton, so like that shit's just bouncing off him at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't like getting shot.
Yeah, I guess people just don't like getting shot
Well,
sometimes.
it's still like it still
Why not?
hurts him because like when he goes into what is the freaking Cerebro, the room that Cerebro has with Charles. This might be in X2. I'm skipping forward a little. This is in X2. It's the beginning of X2, and he's got the cigar. He puts it out in his hand, and you can tell like in Hugh Jackman's face that like
He
it
winces,
does.
yeah.
It does hurt. Like but whatever. It's just gonna heal.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I feel like, and maybe we'll get to them eventually. But like in like the Wolverine and stuff like that, at that point, nothing should phase him really, you know. But by the time you get to Logan, I feel like his healing factor is slowing down and whatnot. At that point, shit should start bothering him. But it seems like it doesn't, but it does at the same time. It's like it's always after the fact. He's like, son of a bitch, that really hurt.
I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those things that makes him feel more human or something.
I don't know. Maybe it's
Darren-
just bad directing.
Maybe. I don't love the first X-Men movie. Darren, what do you think of the? I guess we're just talking about the first 10 minutes right now.
The first, sure. I mean, I think I really like Logan and Rogue's back and forth. Like those two have always been just like some of my favorites because I always felt like they have a very interesting dynamic. But in this first one, especially, like I think having Rogue kind of be that player to kind of reintroduce us to like the X-Men and all those kind of things was always kind of an interesting choice because I was always used to that being like your Jubilee type of character where like, oh, the young preppy kid and she has these fresh eyes and she's going into the X-Men and stuff like that. I've always thought Rogue was kind of pretty done dirty though. Like in this first movie, she is a plot device. Like that is her purebred
That's
focus.
all she is, literally.
That's all she
and
is
it's kind of annoying.
It is very annoying. But no, I mean, I think Rogue is one of the most like fascinating characters because she is such a tragic character. Like, having this character that like put her first boyfriend inside of a coma and that literally cannot touch anyone, can't have any human touch in any way, shape, or form. Forcing her to not be able to live her own life, I think is always very fascinating. And I don't know if these films fully took that places where I think they could have gone. Like, I think maybe they could have gone farther and more deeper with like some of these stories with her. And I don't know how you guys feel about the character, but like, I don't know, like at least in this first one, I feel like they don't take that far enough.
I don't know. I've just thought of a way to make some things with Rogue work, though. How you make kissing work? You can thank Batman and Robin for this.
Oh my god!
Rubber
I was
lips,
just
baby.
About to say that.
I was
just about to say that. I was gonna be like, you should just do the same thing that they did they did to kiss Poison Ivy and Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And like put the rubber lips on or whatever.
Yeah, but she has to be wearing the rubber lips. Well, I guess you can be wearing rubber lips.
I was about to say
because if
you
she's
could be
yeah.
her.
Yeah, that's true.
But she sticks her tongue in your mouth.
Oh yeah, you're kind of fucked.
You're dead. Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, like Rogue, we can kiss. We can't tongue any though. I'm sorry. As far as we can take it, can't do much else with you. Gonna have to wear gloves. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hope it doesn't break.
I feel like that has to be really strong. I feel like you have to get like the super durable.
Just get like a hefty trash bag and put some duct tape around it.
What happens when your like crotch is hitting though? Like you're gonna feel it for a minute and be like, oh, okay. Let's get back on track.
Oh, okay. What was back on track? Oh, how did you like the look of Sabretooth?
He's fine. Sabretooth overall disappointment though.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Sabretooth in the comics, Andrew?
I know that his name is Sabretooth, and I don't think he's based after the Sabretooth tiger.
Okay, well, yeah, he's basically... I'm pretty sure he's Weapon 11, so he's like literally right after Wolverine. He's basically just a Dark Mirror Wolverine. He's as old as Wolverine. He is way more of a sadistic bastard than fucking Wolverine, though. He is.
Did you know they're brothers?
What?
They're brothers.
In this, or like?
Yeah, technically. You've never seen
Oh.
X-Men Origins Wolverine, have you?
No.
Okay.
They say they're
never
brothers
mind.
in that?
Yes,
God,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure.
Yeah, well, we
think
don't
they're
fucking know
brothers.
shit about Wolverine in this movie because they're like, oh, Wolverine, you don't remember the past 15 years. And that's basically all they say this entire movie. But no, Sabretooth, in the comics, he has this tradition for Wolverine. Every birthday, Wolverine's birthday, he just like, he kills someone close to Wolverine. He'll kill some of the X-Men, he'll kill his friends, he was the one that killed Silver St. Cloud, like his first love in the comics. He is on his birthday, so Logan fucking despises his birthday because Sabretooth is just bastard.
Yeah, that's the beginning to X-Men Origins, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, him, the birthday celebrations?
I think.
Okay, in the comics, I'm pretty sure they aren't brothers, so that's something that.
They're either brothers or they grew up together.
Yeah, there's something in the comics, like that birthday celebration thing, where Logan killed Sabretooth's brother, so like Sabretooth always looked at Logan as a brother in a way after that, like as a little brother, because when he was growing up, he just beat the shit out of his little brother. So now he just tortures the guy that killed his little brother. Some fucked up shit. Sabretooth is he's a sadist, dude. He's a sick bastard. And I don't like him, but from what I know of him in the comics, he's insanely more interesting than he is in this movie.
Yeah, I think they really waste a lot of those like side villains. Like I think Toad and also your Sabretooth, they're just kind of put to the side. I also just think, and this is like the 2000, right? So I'm not expecting him to look amazing, but he doesn't look much like a Sabretooth. Like he just kind of looks like a guy with like a fur coat on, and they're just like, all right, this works, I guess.
Have either of you seen X-Men Origins Wolverine?
I have. It's just been a long time. I don't remember any of it really. I remember the bad stuff, but like, tell me like what the plot is. I couldn't tell you.
Well, I was just trying to remember his look in X-Men Origins, and I'm pretty sure they just give the actor who plays him. I'm pretty sure they just give him kind of long fingernails, and that's the only look that he has.
That's disappointing.
The villains overall, the overall suck. Magneto and Mystique are like the only villains that actually matter in this movie.
Yeah, and they're great.
Yeah, they are.
They work. Yeah. There's a reason why they were in all three of these films.
I was about to say Last Stand aside, the first two, they're like two of the best parts of both, respectively.
Yeah.
Well, Mystique still plays a massive role in The Last Stand.
Yeah.
She saves Magneto. Oh yeah, don't forget, by the way, that
that's in the first 20 minutes of that fucking movie, though, and then Mystique just has no powers, and she's gone from the... We're gonna get into that when we get to Last Stand. Fuck that movie, bro. I hadn't seen it before this, by the way. So.
Sabretooth has eyebrows that like come down and connect to his mutton chops, by the way, in this movie. I was just looking at a picture of him.
I couldn't get over his fucking
ridiculous.
eyebrows in this movie. I couldn't stop looking at that anytime he was on screen. I'm like, dude, why does this look so big? He looks so bad.
I'm looking at the way he looks in the comics and stuff, and I think there's a couple pictures of the way he was in the cartoon as well, wasn't he?
Yeah,
probably. He's a big villain.
I'm pretty sure he looks the exact same in the cartoon as he does the comics, does he not?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, he looks so cool. Why did they change that?
Yeah, he's such a like cool villain and a very like personal one. Like I don't know what they do in like his like solo films, but just based off the first one, it feels like he's just very wasted and he's just kind of like a lackey character, which I feel like he's typically more than that.
Yeah.
So,
well,
especially when it comes to like him versus Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why, but I feel like almost all of the people that they give Magneto basically to use as pawns, none of them are like really people I would see him just kind of using as pawns, except for the kid. Well, that happens in X2 when the kid who Pyro or whatever.
When he converts Pyro.
Yeah, basically. I feel like he would be a lackey, and Mystique would also just, be chilling with Magneto. I feel like all the other people, though, well, I say all the other people, but Toad and Sabretooth, they wouldn't really be... Toad feels like a Riddler type character, but I don't know Toad.
Yeah, I don't know anything
other than...
I don't know anything about Toad.
I've just seen like pictures and stuff from him from the TV show and stuff like that, and I feel like he's like more of a Riddler type character. Like he'll team up with somebody if it's going to benefit him, but for the most part, he's just kind of doing his own thing.
Yeah. I mean, just based off all, like the shows and stuff that I've seen throughout the years, like he is typically your like lackey type character. Just like, yeah,
he
I
is.
can go join your crew if I get money.
I mean, that
and
makes
stuff.
sense. How big of a threat can you be when you're just a fucking his mutant power? He has a really long tongue. Like, okay,
Yeah, he can like jump and he has a
Yeah.
tongue and slimy and stuff. Yeah,
bro, that's so lame
I mean-
compared to like Nightcrawler. Though I want to teleport, not fucking jump.
yeah. He's like the guy that you put it in front of them just for like them to take him out in like 5 seconds, just because like, oh yeah, they need someone to fight
Yeah.
quickly.
Sabretooth
like,
is
"All
not
right."
that though.
Oh, dear.
Sabretooth is like, if anything, he's like the maybe semi-boss. Like he's the boss
Yeah.
before Magneto, but he's like a boss in of himself. He's not just a goon. That's not who Sabretooth is.
Yeah,
I feel like you could describe him as like a Deathstroke type character. You know,
I don't know.
he's
You're
kinda-
cutting deep there for me. I love Deathstroke.
No,
Deathstroke
no,
would
no.
kick
I'm
his ass.
saying no. I'm saying in terms of like Deathstroke will join people like if it benefits him mutually.
Yeah.
But then
Oh yeah,
after
but
that,
he's
he
not
just kinda-
going to play second fiddle to anyone either, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it benefits him. And then like once it's over, he just kind of does his own thing. Like, you know, Sabretooth runs off and he's like, oh, Logan's birthday's coming up. I can't wait to kill whoever he's in love with.
Yeah, I didn't understand why he was in Magneto's back pocket because they never explain any of that. They're just like, oh yeah, here's the villains. They're together. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. They're the Brotherhood, but tell me why Sabretooth is part of the Brotherhood, like, and all that. Like, you know, you got to give
Also,
me
why is there
give me
only
a little more story beats here.
why is there only like 4 people in the Mutant Brotherhood?
Yeah, right. Where's everyone else?
Could they just not afford anybody else or something?
Did he want to be the 4 Horsemen of Apocalypse? But that name was
They're on a
taken.
budget.
Yeah. Wasn't also there 5 horsemen at the end of Apocalypse anyways?
Were there 5?
I think there ended up being like 5. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't remember. I guess we'll find out once we get there.
Yeah, I guess. But
I guess.
how did you like didn't the actual opening of this movie wasn't it Magneto's origin?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Which I still think he has like the best kind of origin out of like any of the X-Men because it's so tragic and it's like you
Yep.
understand why he feels the way he feels.
Yeah.
This scene's
About, like,
fine.
the government-
It's just done so much better in First Class, and
Yeah,
and
it
they give
is.
more time to it in First Class. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still think
Sorry.
no, you're good. I still think Origins movie for Magneto, but starring man, what's his name? I've already forgot the actor. Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
An origin movie with him would be amazing.
Yeah.
Just
still, like,
a movie
they-
solely dedicated
because they-
to him.
we can maybe talk about it more once we talk about like X-Men Origins next time, and once we talk about First Class and stuff. I feel like because I know X-Men Origins Magneto is planned if like Wolverine was a success, so I wonder if they just took some stuff they were going to put in that and incorporated it in the First Class, because like First Class very much feels like Magneto's movie.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's like shared between him and Charles, I guess.
Yeah. I remember the
Uh,
Magneto stuff so much better though. Maybe I'm just biased. Magneto's awesome. He's so awesome. He's
Yeah,
not. He's not. He's
very
not.
good.
He's not super awesome in this first movie. He's fine, but X2 he's more awesome.
So what was his whole plot, or not his whole plot, but his whole plan exactly? Was he going to give everybody a mutation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So they take the Senator. I remember really not liking this when I last watched it, which was probably when I was still in high school. When they take the Senator, give him the mutant powers, and he's just this blob basically. And I was like, oh, I don't know how to feel about this. I didn't really hate it this time around, though. I felt like it took a lot longer than it actually did the last time I watched. I don't know. It's only like 10 minutes of the movie that's a thing, though. Then eventually he dies, and Mystique takes his spot, which will carry on to X2. But what were you saying, Darren?
No, I mean, I just think, like, I like it as a plot. It's very silly, but, like, I feel
I
like
mean,
there's
it's
a
very
lot-
comic booky.
It is. It is, but that's so weird because they go out of their way to not be that. Like, they even said, like, I'm not wearing those, like, yellow tights. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, these films definitely go out of their way to stay out of the, like, comic book sphere. And then your first movie here is like, okay, let's turn a president guy into slime. Like that's going to be the main plot of the movie. And I think that's kind of like my main issue with this first one is I think they try to do too much too fast. Like and like I don't blame them because I think an X-Men movie, like a first one is hard to do because there's a lot they have to do. There's a lot of characters, there's a lot of plots, there's a lot of just background that you have to cover. But they do it all very fast and like I don't know, maybe if I was making one, maybe I would have done something a little smaller for your first outing.
Yeah, because
maybe that's just me, though.
No, I agree with a lot of what you're saying because after this movie ends, how many characters do you really know?
None. Logan.
You know
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
You know fucking Wolverine. That's basically it.
And Jean. You know Jean pretty well.
I guess, like, she's... The weird thing to me about Jean is how fast they transition, like, because in this one, she's, like, kind of just developing her power. She's nowhere to the power that the Professor is, and by the time you get to the end of X2 and then Last Stand, she's more powerful than fucking Professor X. Like, how did that happen so fast? Well, I get, like, Last Stand, it's because...
There was years in between. Yeah, but there was also years in between.
It's also weird how they handle the Phoenix Force. We'll again get to that later.
Well,
there's a lot of things I don't like about that fucking movie.
You want to talk about, like, comic booky type stuff. All three of these movies have the most comic book type plot ever. So in the first movie, Magneto's your main bad guy trying to turn everybody into a mutant. Okay. The next movie, he's like ratting out Charles and he's trying to get all the mutants taken down.
Well, that's
fuck the mutants.
Yeah. The Stryker is controlling him.
Yeah. He doesn't really want to, but like he does it anyways and whatever. In the first movie, he would die for mutants, I feel like. He'd be like, yeah, fuck you, I'm standing. But the second movie, he's just like, well, I guess I'll tell you.
Well, no, he tells Stryker because, like, Stryker has some kind of, like, mind manipulation device, like, mind control thing that he's using on Deathstrike that entire movie. That's what he used on Magneto in the cell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
feel like that's part of why Magneto felt he needed to break out. Like, if that never happened, like, he wasn't to blame for what Stryker was about to do. I don't know if Magneto would have even bothered pulling that fucking guard.
Yeah, and so then in the third movie, he's just like, fucking kill all the humans! Kill everybody! Fuck the humans!
I mean, that's basically what he was trying to do at the end of X2, though, because he was like, hey, swap this thing from killing all mutants to killing all humans.
Yeah, I know. It's just like he goes from let's make everybody a mutant to let's just kill everybody that isn't a mutant.
I feel like they developed that enough throughout the trilogy, though, because like it gets to like I feel like from Magneto's point of view, it's like, yeah, these humans are never gonna work with us, so just fucking kill them. So that mutants are the dominant race. That's I feel like that's always a theme with Magneto, and that's why the split between him and Charles is so interesting. Like, Magneto is all for eliminating humans if it's what needs to happen. Like, if they aren't going to accept mutants, they have to fucking die. And Charles is like, no, we can make peace and live among them. That's kind of where their differences collide and why they had the falling out they did.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I, love these stories, because I don't think there's a black and white, this is right or they're wrong type of thing, where it's like you can side on either point and you wouldn't necessarily be right or wrong. It's just about
your when you look at both of their POVs, you can understand each of them, honestly.
100%. Yeah, I know.
That's why Magneto's such a fucking good villain to me, though. Like,
yeah.
He can be pure evil at times. Like, he can truly be pure evil, like, in some storylines. But also, he's such a complex character, and he has so many layers. And, like, there are reasons to his motives and what he's doing and what he strives for.
Yeah, like when he wears that stupid fucking helmet in these movies. That makes him pure evil, because he looks stupid.
At least they fucking explain why he wears the helmet. It's so that Charles can't read his mind.
Yeah, I guess. It's so dumb looking on...
I think it looks better. It looks better in
McKellen.
The newer ones. Yeah, it looks better when Fassbender has it because it actually looks similar to the Magneto helmet, like the classic Magneto helmet everyone knows from the comics. I don't know what the fuck he's wearing in this movie. Honestly, it does not look like the Magneto helmet. It just looks like some helmet. Like, okay, I guess yeah, it's Magneto. I mean, it's Ian McKellen, so I'm sold.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember Cyclops from these movies a lot. Or let's say like the first one. I thought he was like more prominent. He's literally a side character. That's it. He's a side character completely.
He's kind of a side character in all these movies, yeah.
Yeah, up until he dies.
Oh, yeah, dies in the
give
first fucking 15 minutes of X-Men: The Last Stand.
Yeah, these movies don't give a fuck about Cyclops. They could not care less.
I like the little interactions between him and Wolverine too. Like, I enjoy those. I don't know if it's just me, but I enjoy those. Like the shots they take at each other.
I don't like how Cyclops is constantly calling Wolverine bub. That is so annoying because I'm pretty sure it's Wolverine who always says that shit, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is Cyclops constantly saying it? You don't hear Wolverine say it like once. Like, why did they just give him like Wolverine's like signature saying or whatever?
Yeah.
Signature line, man.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I think the best action sequence in this movie is probably. I'm not a huge fan of the end sequence, like on the Statue of Liberty. I like the when they capture Rogue more, when Magneto's stopping all the bullets and making all the police cars fly and all that stuff. And he literally has all them dead rights.
Yeah, when Charles takes over Sabretooth's mind and he's like, let them go. And he's like, where are you, Charles?
Yeah.
And he's got all the bullets like at the guy's head. And they're just spinning.
Oh, and he's just pushing that one in to that one guy. Yeah. He's like, ah!
That's, I don't know. I don't think, the only thing that I don't really like is just, so this might be blasphemy, but I think that Ian McKellen was like a little too old for these movies because he was just kind of old and like, I don't know, like not out of shape, but he wasn't like a menacing character like Fassbender. Oof. I wouldn't fuck with Michael Fassbender's Magneto, but like Ian McKellen's, I would just be like, man, I bet you could like kick him in the balls and run away if you didn't have any metal on. You could beat the shit out of him.
Well, hopefully the iron in your blood isn't too high because he's gonna fuck you up if so.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you don't have any metal and you're like you have normal amounts of iron in your blood, you could just kick him in the balls and beat him up. Like, what the fuck?
Throw your fucking phone to the side, throw your keys out your pocket, and go at him, man.
Yeah, just wear some sweatpants and some house shoes and a hoodie without metal tips on the little strings, and just go beat him up.
I'd have to take my fucking glasses off, bro. I wouldn't even be able to see where I'm going.
You'd be throwing punches at all three of them, huh?
Which Magneto is the real one?
I didn't know he could duplicate. What the hell? Beating the air down.
I don't know. I think it's just an Ian McKellen thing, but just not really in the first one. I didn't notice as much, but specifically in X2 and a lot of the scenes with Pyro, just some of the things he says are so profound.
Yes,
and they make so much sense. Like Magneto is that guy. He has that way with words. Like I understand why Pyro goes to that man's side. I'm like, bro, I would be. I trust Magneto more than Charles right now. I believe him. I'm like, you're right. Charles is the bad guy. And I'm like, I'm not even in this fucking movie, but I'm buying everything this man's saying.
Sure. Yeah, which I'm so excited to kind of see what the MCU does with that character because I think he could clearly have his own movie. Clearly have his own show.
Dude, imagine Magneto and Doctor Doom interacting. Oh my god, I want to see it. Let me see it. Those are the only two villains that the MCU hasn't touched on that I fucking give a fuck about, honestly.
Galactus.
Oh, well, and I don't really care about Galactus. Green Goblin, I want to see like their actual version of Green Goblin. Yeah. And Doc Ock and some Spider-Man villains, but I mean, yeah, no, Magneto and Doom are my big two that I'm excited for.
So here's my question to both of you. Do you hope the MCU builds the Fantastic Four and the X-Men separate from everything else and then finds like a clever way to kind of like put it all together? Or do you want them to just throw everything in? Just be like, yep. Just like they kind of did with Spider-Man. They just threw him in Civil War and it's like, here's Spider-Man, guys.
I don't know. That's kind of, I guess it depends on the approach because that's like, it's just so many characters to introduce at once. Like, I don't know if it would work super well. Or, well, they're obviously not going to introduce them all at once. We're getting Deadpool and Wolverine before the rest, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think with, like, the Fantastic Four, we kind of know that answer because we found out that the movie takes place during the 60s, so it's more of like a prequel to the MCU. And then
do they really?
Yeah, from that casting that had just come out.
Okay, so now in chronological order, Fantastic Four is second after First Avenger.
Yes, and I'm going to assume either end of the movie it's like a time travel thing or like a quantum realm thing that brings them into the modern day. That was kind of thrown in like your Captain America. And then as far as your X-Men, I have a feeling we're doing Secret Wars. Like I think they will use Secret Wars to kind of rebrand the MCU as they will and be like, oh yeah, now we just have X-Men and now they're here. And Mitch and Matt, bring in what works, get rid of what doesn't. Which would be my guess, which is why they're kind of holding off on like the X-Men being a proper franchise. That with all along with the rights that they can't like they literally can't recast these characters yet. But that would be my guess.
I'm hoping that Deadpool 3 kind of gives us more of an answer to that.
Yeah.
Well, think of what was the last Marvel property that came out?
The Marvels.
The Marvels?
Or wait, what was that show? Echo?
Well,
Echo.
Okay.
You are right. You are on top of it.
I know, I'm a genius. I didn't even watch Echo, but I know my stuff. Subscribe right now. Go subscribe to the Red Arrow if you're not already. If you're listening there, go follow the show on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to the show. Mid-episode plug. There you go.
Go listen to that 3-hour episode of that thing that did, ranking the DCEU movies or whatever. And in the middle of that, he has his review of Echo. You just have to listen. It's at an hour and 35 minutes in. But if you skip forward to the video, you miss it. He did something clever. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
So,
and while you're at it, while we're just plugging stuff, go check out episode 2 of the show where we talk about Jurassic Park.
You're goddamn right. You go check out episode 2, where I talk about Jurassic Park for multiple hours. It feels like,
even though it's only about an hour long.
Oh well, I think it's 57 minutes exactly. But
yeah, I think that sounds about right. Oh,
anyways, so Echo, was that any good? Does anybody know?
Darren would be the guy to ask.
Was Echo good?
Define good. I like Echo a lot.
So this guy Andrew, he's a big Daredevil fan.
Okay.
I love Daredevil. Yes.
Then I think you might like it because it feels like it's part of that world directly. Like they clearly were making that show to be a part of like that saga of shows. And look, I think what's there is good, but it needed a lot more. Like they clearly had a lot cut. There's characters that like should be major players like in the show that are just not there. They were supposed to get 8 episodes, I think, and then it was cut down to 5. So
does Kingpin show up, or is that one of the people you're talking about?
He's in like 3 episodes, I think.
Oh, cool.
And then if you like Daredevil, there might be something there as well. So,
wait, Daredevil's in it?
Yes, yeah.
What?
Not a lot. It's not a lot, but there's a really, really good sequence with him.
Wait, Andrew, did you watch the She-Hulk episodes of Daredevil?
I watched. Okay, so if you look at my Disney Plus, it says I've watched every episode of She-Hulk. I watched every episode and I skipped through it till I saw every scene with Charlie Cox in it, and then I just kept skipping.
Yeah, you can probably do that with Echo then if you just want to watch the Kingpin and Daredevil stuff.
No. I didn't mind Echo as a character. I just don't want to read a lot.
I don't even remember Echo.
She was Kingpin's lackey in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I still don't really. I remember Kingpin in Hawkeye.
I didn't think that she was very good there.
No, I don't even remember her there. So I mean, that tells you anything.
But I'm hyped to see like what she does next because I think with like Marvel's rebranding of how they're doing their like TV shows, I think it could be cool. I don't know if she's in like Born Again or kind of where we're going with her, but I'm down for it.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I need to watch the original.
Sorry, dude, you need.
Yes,
I've been trying to get him to do this for so long.
I have too. I have told him.
Let's gang up on him.
I have told him.
Were we all going to the same place? I need to watch the original run of Daredevil.
Yes.
Yeah, we were all. I know, I do. I know. When's Born Again? When's that drop?
So it's rumored this year.
Oh, okay. It doesn't even have a release date yet. Okay.
No,
yeah, I got time. I can watch it. We got. Hey, for sure way for me to watch it. We can do in the build up to Born Again, maybe
Mm.
if they haven't even announced a release date, we might be able to start this after the X-Men stuff, after Deadpool 3. Because that's why we're talking about the X-Men movies, by the way. Deadpool 3 comes out in July, baby. We got a lot of X-Men movies to talk about. But we could do like a season of Daredevil, like before Born Again, like season 1 for an episode, then season 2, 3, something like that, if you guys wanted to. So because I need to freaking watch it.
And I don't know if you'll agree with me, Darren, but I think it goes like in terms of, in my opinion, in terms of like ranking the seasons, I think season 3, 1, and then 2.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah. So like
but I
season
think they're
1
all good
is
though.
Yes. I've seen a lot of people shit on season 2, but kind of fair because they cram a lot of shit in there.
Yeah.
Because I guess Jessica Jones and I guess it went season 1 of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, season 2 of Daredevil, I think, then Punisher. So like Daredevil, Jessica Jones probably didn't perform as well as they wanted, so they just kind of squeezed everything in Daredevil to like help expand the Netflix universe, and it kind of hurts it, but at the same time, it's still really good. John Bernthal's Punisher, oh my god.
That's like that's one of the greatest scenes in like any comic book thing that I've ever seen. Like it's
the
so
rooftop.
Good. Yeah.
The rooftop
my gosh.
scene. Oh yes. Yes.
Put that like that's a piece of art. Like it.
Hey, I'll watch it, guys. Jesus, you sold me.
Oh my goodness, though that rooftop scene. It's like they're having that back and forth, and it's just like, yeah, you put people in body bags, and he's like, what do? You're no better than me. You put them in the hospital. What? You break their arm, and then they go right back out on the street, and they do the same thing again. I put a stop to them for good, and he just keeps going on, and it's just that, and it's
it's great.
It's really great. Elektra, she's pretty good.
Bro, I don't know why I haven't watched fucking Daredevil, because like the DC character he gets compared to the most is Batman.
Yeah, and I think you said you didn't like Karen Page and you didn't like Foggy.
They were fine, from what I remember.
Oh, I thought they were annoying or something. You said
no, they were fine. I was
to
never
be fair,
annoyed with them. Maybe Foggy at times. I don't remember being annoyed by Karen though.
Foggy is whiny.
Yeah. I might have got. He might like be a bit too much for me at times, but I don't think it's that bad. I might have overreacted if I did say that.
Karen is kind of annoying. I won't lie.
I've only seen like the first 3 episodes, so
yeah. She's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's just she's just kind of. I think in the first season, you like 90% of the time you see her on screen, she's probably crying.
Okay,
that's a little bit of an exaggeration. Yeah, I guess she had. But back to the X-Men.
Oh yeah.
After that 10-minute review of Daredevil and Echo and Daredevil Born Again promotion, we're doing a better job than Marvel right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Had to redo the whole show.
So if you were to I know this is kind of still off topic, but if you were to in this first movie, if you were to roll some of these original X-Men casting over to the MCU, and let's say you forget their past, these movies don't exist in that universe, but the same actors do play, who would you roll over?
Oh, I mean,
dude, so many of them are old. And they're even older by the time the MCU starts.
If I could make Patrick Stewart young again, yes. Because
you wouldn't do McAvoy?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean,
we're talking about any of these X-Men movies. I thought you meant specifically like the original trilogy.
Any?
Yeah, no. I mean the first trilogy. But if you cast Patrick Stewart, you can't do McAvoy then. You know?
Yeah, I would do Patrick. I think Patrick's a perfect casting.
Is it a hot take?
Too,
is it a hot take to prefer McAvoy?
To pervert McAvoy?
To prefer McAvoy.
I don't know. Maybe. I do like Patrick Stewart a lot. Yeah. I feel
like as a character, he probably suits the role better, but I think as far as I think Professor X is written so well in First Class and Days of Future Past.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think he's written better in those movies.
I think back to Logan though, when I think of Professor X and Patrick Stewart, and I'm like, fuck, he's so good in that though. So it's he is a, old man and he's crazy and shit and
he's
all that, but He's great, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I liked Cyclops. I did not. So in this movie, I did not like. I liked Rogue. She was great.
I just wish she wasn't.
Wolverine.
I wish she was just more than a plot device, Rogue.
Yeah, and you
for
were
the
talking.
first half, she kind of is like she gets some character, but then like once she gets taken, she is literally just a plot device. She's there for the team to rescue and for the movie to go forward, basically. And
Yeah,
I'm
if
like,
Wolverine would have just killed her at the beginning of the movie when he accidentally stabbed her. If he would have just killed her, then the movie would have been over. The credits would have just rolled.
Yeah.
Oh no, we don't have anything to spread this mutant virus now.
But I don't know. I liked Cyclops. I liked the guy who played Cyclops. I mean,
Yeah.
but I feel like I don't remember what he was like in. When did he get introduced? In Apocalypse? Is that when he got introduced in the new movies?
I think so.
See, I can't remember if I liked the guy who played Scott Summers there more.
I just remember it's the guy from Ready Player One. I don't even know his name.
Yeah. All I know is he's just Cyclops is I feel like is written as just like a whiny little bitch in all of these movies. And he very well might be that. But I didn't remember him that way in the cartoon. Like I felt like he
from
was
what I
like,
know of him outside of like movies, he's like what I've seen him as is like always the team leader type. Like if Charles goes, like Cyclops is going to be that dude to step up.
Yeah. Just in the 97 trailer, like I love what they're doing with him. Like they're really making him step up and like be like that leader. And
that makes sense because like Wolverine's kind of like. Make another Batman comparison here, but he's kind of like with the X-Men, how Batman is with the Justice League. Like he's part of them, he's part of the team.
Yeah.
Not always there though. He's off doing his own thing half the fucking time.
And
but Cyclops is like the X-Men is Cyclops' family.
Yes. And it's my hot take. Like when the MCU does your X-Men, I don't want Logan there in that first movie. Like I think it needs to be Scott's film, and then you can bring him in. But like Scott is desperately in need of like some screen time. Like he needs it so badly.
So this is kind of stupid, but I have an idea of how they could have made the first X-Men movie and made it so much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you start the movie with a mature X-Men team. You know, you've used all the same characters and stuff, but it's like a mission that, like, I don't know, there's this fucking lunatic going around fucking beating people up and killing certain people and doing all kinds of bullshit. So you take your Storm, Cyclops, who else was on the team? Jean, and then Patrick Stewart. You take them and you hunt this guy down, and it's just Wolverine. That's who it is. He's just like beating people up and fucking killing people, and he's been labeled as like some mutant on like the run or something like that. And it's
so
like,
you're saying like an entire movie of Wolverine Berserker Rage, basically.
Not necessarily Berserker Rage.
That sounds awesome. Like Wolverine versus Hulk. I don't know if either of you have ever seen that, but like that kind of Wolverine.
Yes. But it's kind of like what I'm saying is like the government or something is labeling him as this because you could put Stryker in this movie. And they're like trying to pass a bill and they're using Wolverine as like a scapegoat, being like, see what this guy did? But in reality, all these like serious murders and all this other shit that's going on, it's Magneto and Sabretooth just fucking killing humans, just being pieces of shit, you know? They could just be killing certain members of the government because maybe they're like testing on mutants or, you know, you could make that work. But you could show Scott Summers as the leader of the X-Men that way. I say leader, but like the leader of the team itself.
Yeah, like when they're out in the field.
Yeah, no, you can have Charles obviously being the leader, but like when they're out there fighting, it's Scott.
Yeah.
Also, where the fuck is Beast in these movies? Why does he show up in the third one?
I don't know. They kind of just disregarded him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, when you were describing that, the government thing, labeling him as something they're not, so they're after him. You were just making me think of Bumblebee that whole time. Okay, I want to rewatch that movie.
Maybe I was kind of thinking of like movies like that, and then I was just like, oh, I didn't think of Bumblebee specifically, but
yeah,
I kind of thought of like Rambo almost. You know, the government made him out. Well, I'll say the government, but the town made him out a lot worse than he actually was.
Yeah. I just watched Bumblebee not that long ago, so it's still pretty fresh. Great movie that Darren you should watch.
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen any of those films. Not a single one.
I've seen Rise of the
Right.
Beast and Bumblebee, and they are both good. I don't know if any of the other ones are good, but I like both.
The
of them.
first Transformers, pretty good.
Yeah.
The second Transformers, okay. The third Transformers, okay. The fourth one, terrible. The fifth one, god awful.
Yeah.
So do with that information what you want.
Is there anything else you guys want to say about the original X-Men before we move on to X2, though?
I mean, this is a film. I've seen this film 3 times now, and I feel like each time I slowly dislike it more. And I think it's just like, you know, the like more I think the like more comic book films come out, some are a lot better than this, some are not better than this, and you know, I think it's one that does fit in that like middle of the road. But like I do respect it for kind of like starting this trend of films like this. You know, back in the 2000, like these weren't really a thing yet. Like these big blockbuster superhero films were still pretty new. So you have to give it to them for like starting something big. They're starting a universe. Like what? There's 16 of these films. Like that's a lot. Like they did a lot of these. So yeah, I don't know.
All right, Darren, here's the $1 million question.
No.
If you can put
Oh.
these movies together in the correct timeline, you get $1 million. And go.
No. Darren, let's do it.
No.
In chronological order.
All right. Gambit, Gambit 2, Gambit 3, Gambit 1.5.
Whoa.
Whoa, 1.5 comes after 3? Holy shit.
It's crazy, man.
That must have been quite the prequel.
Yeah. Damn.
Sorry, Gambit fan. Sorry that we still don't have a movie. I say we because I love Gambit. Gambit's awesome.
We were so
I
close.
love his mutant ability.
Well,
Give him
wasn't
like
Channing
a Disney Plus
Tatum-
show, bro. Oh my
Bro,
god.
okay,
Channing
so-
Tatum was going to be Gambit, though.
Dude, so the director of Deadpool 3 directed Free Guy, Channing Tatum, Ryan Reynolds, they're both in Free Guy. Give us Gambit! Give us Channing Tatum, Gambit, and Deadpool 3, damn it. Even if it's just for like 2 minutes, give us. They can't just bring what the fuck was it? The X-Force. They can't bring all those characters back for like a 2-minute sequence in Deadpool 3 and not give us Channing Tatum as Gambit? What else is Channing Tatum doing right now? Fucking nothing, as far as I know.
Magic Mike 7.
That's the current rumor that he is in the movie.
That makes sense to me. I heard it on podcast, but like it's what I just said, like connecting those dots, it makes sense.
Yeah.
See, I like how you guys hear all this stuff and I don't hear anything, so I'm just like, what? That's crazy.
Oh, I don't hear too much, but that is something I have heard.
I hear it too much. I hear way too much. I need to get off Twitter.
You do. Twitter is an evil
I'm sorry,
place.
X.
That's part of why I finally got off Twitter, because I couldn't stand that stupid ass name.
It just stands for X-Force, which confirms Channing Tatum.
We've connected all the dots. That's what we do here at That's So Random.
Anyways, speaking of X2, they're coming for you. That was the tagline, believe it or not.
Was it really?
No, not at all. But
damn it. Now I'm
X2, they're coming for
you. United or whatever.
Yeah, X2, X-Men United.
Yeah, no, talking about this movie though, I remember it the best from like when I was a kid because I had a 2-disc. One was behind the scenes and the other was the movie. And I used to watch this movie all the time. I never had seen the first one up until, I don't know, I might have been like 17, 18 years old. This movie is so good that I didn't even need the first one to like
get into it.
Yeah. It explains everything perfect. It's a perfect, like, almost standalone movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you honestly don't need the first one to watch this movie, like, at all. Nothing that happens in the first one has any impact in this. Well, other than Mystique, like, taking the senator's identity since he died and she's just disguising as him. Other than that, there's not really anything from the first one that comes into play here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it really does feel like the first movie, but like good. Like, it does
Dude,
kind of
oh my god,
open
just that Nightcrawler, the opening sequence of this movie,
Oh,
Nightcrawler in the
dude.
White House, better than
Yeah,
anything in the first movie.
I agree.
Better than a single frame in the first movie. And that's when you know it's a better movie. Like, you just need to see that scene. And surprisingly, the quality actually sticks.
Yep.
Not the whole movie's not that good because that scene's just so fucking awesome. But the whole movie is pretty damn good. And I think Stryker's motives make perfect sense. I think he's a way better villain in this movie than Magneto was in the first one. Sorry.
Oh,
Do you
I
disagree?
I don't think
no.
so.
Okay.
I just
So
shocked to it here.
the only thing that I have to say is like in the first movie, there were so okay. So what I liked about Fassbender and McAvoy's Magneto and Charles, our Professor X, was like the more they meet up, it's like Charles actively is trying to like stop, not necessarily stop Magneto, but like he goes out of his way more to like try to like tell the motherfucker to be like, you need to chill, bro. And in the first movie, they meet each other at the Senate, and Charles like could get in Magneto's head and see the shit that he's planning and doesn't try to do anything to stop him. He's just like, well, there he goes. Damn them legs of his being able to walk. You know? And then in this movie, when you see them together, they're kind of working together, so I don't really care. You know, it's whatever. Or Magneto is working to help get Charles, you know, back because he gets like mind locked or whatever happens.
Oh, and Magneto being imprisoned, I guess that's another thing that carries over from the first movie. But that's the
Yeah.
Mystique thing in Magneto is literally it.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's the only thing I don't really like about these first three. I say only thing, but that's something I just never really liked about these first three movies is like Charles is like doesn't really try to stop Magneto at all. He's just kind of like curse him and his ability to walk away from me. That's kind of like what he does. But if he would have stopped him there at the Senate, like I don't know, just paralyzed him, make him forget his master plan. That's it. End of the movie. That's all. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of funny
I mean-
because so in the first one, Rogue's the plot device character, and then this one kind of feels like Professor X is the plot
He is,
device character. But I don't have nearly as much of a problem with it because it kind of makes sense. They're like, look at this guy, because he's such a powerful telepath. They're like, look at this guy's focuses in too much on a specific person. They will literally die when he's using Cerebro, and I'm like, holy shit.
yeah, well, I think the reason it's better done in this one than in X1 is because it's like you get introduced to Rogue and then it kind of revolves around her and then it's like, oh, she's kidnapped.
Yeah.
In this one, Charles kind of like they get baited, don't they? I can't remember exactly. It's been a week since I've seen this. But don't they get baited into going somewhere and then they like, we got you, Charles.
Yes.
So it's like kind
so
of
everyone split up in this movie, which I
Yeah.
kind of liked. There was like so Jean and Storm were off somewhere, and Cyclops and Professor X went off somewhere, and they got baited. Stryker got them and took Professor X, and I forgot this whole thing with his son, which is like the most important and integral plot element to this entire movie. The fact that Stryker's son is like as powerful of a telepath, or maybe even more powerful than Professor X. He's powerful enough to like control Professor X, like enter his mind and take control, which is pretty crazy. I don't know how I forgot that.
You know, he's not a level 5 mutant. There's only one level 5 mutant that they ever encountered before, and that was Jean Grey. At least in these movies. That's what they say in the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just like, this is another thing that both of you may know. Is the red guy from the first class any way related to Nightcrawler?
Yes, I think he's his father.
Is he?
Maybe what is that red guy's name? Like Azil or something like that?
Azumarill, the Pokemon.
Silly X-Men. I don't know if that's his name. Fuck him.
It's Azumarill. Trust me.
One sec. Nightcrawler, X-Men father. I think it's his father. Maybe I'm completely off. Yeah, Azil.
Because like
Azil, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Why can't we get a Nightcrawler solo movie?
Or
I would
Azazel.
love that.
There's another Z there. Azazel.
Yeah, I think a Nightcrawler solo movie would be pretty good. Also, I don't know why, but I couldn't really understand him when he talked. I guess it was the accent or something. But I don't remember what was the reasoning for the tattoos.
Oh, I don't remember. He did give a reason, but I don't remember what he said.
Yeah, I couldn't understand him. And then again, I did have it on in the background. And I was, I think, making something to eat when he was talking to Storm about how he got all the tattoos. Also, they set up like a romance between them, I feel like, and then they just kind of dropped it. Also, where was Nightcrawler in the next movie?
I don't know, dude.
He should have been there. Yeah.
The next movie was just
Maybe they forgot Nightcrawler was in this movie, and then they put Beast in his place, and then they're just like, "Yeah, the blue guy, remember?
Guy. Yeah,
it's the blue guy. You guys remember?"
It's the same.
You
character.
you said you had a theory about where Beast was in the first movie. What was that?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean not to jump into 3 like way too early, but I think like having Beast as part of that like OG team with like your Scott and like your Jean, I actually really like the idea that you are bringing in someone that would have a connection with them, right? Like Beast, hypothetically, Beast should care that Scott is dead. Beast should care that Jean is like an evil witch now. And like they don't really address that. Like I feel like that should be like a part of your film. Like, you know, that should be one of the big like cornerstones, and they like never address it. So like in theory, I get why you would save him for that final film, but like you don't use it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
See, and I like that they use him. I like how they use Hank McCoy, and they're like, "Oh, you're a diplomat," and he's like, "Well, Winston Churchill once said." But
yeah,
where was he in the first movie, though?
Sure.
Where was he talking about? You know, when they were going to pass this mutant law, why was Jean Grey up there? Why was that not Beast?
Right.
That just doesn't make sense to me. And I guess that's the problem with the third and the first movie. Is just the, I guess, improper use of the way they write characters.
Yeah.
But back to X2, which is, it's easier to talk about the bad stuff in the bad movies than it is to talk about like the good stuff in X2, because everybody just knows about the good stuff.
Right.
Some people don't watch the first X-Men and don't watch The Last Stand because they know they're bad or they've heard they're bad.
Yeah.
That's why I never saw Last Stand.
Yeah. And so, like, back to X2, I feel like all the action and stuff was kind of meh, but I think that's kind of because now the assault on, like, the, what's it called?
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, the school. I liked that.
The invading the school, yeah.
But I feel like
I think Stryker is, like, just the best part of this movie overall. Like, without Stryker, this movie is not nearly as good as it is. Brian Cox is so fucking good, too. Probably best performance in the movie.
I think they might have been limited to the time of like how they could like do action scenes and stuff. But then you look at, you know, Nightcrawler's opening scene and it's like, how limited were you? How limited were you that you
they spent all their budget on they spent most of their budget on that Nightcrawler scene. They're like, okay, we got to tone down the action, guys.
Well, it's just like I hate how Wolverine is always they're just fucking picking him up and throwing him. That's how you use Wolverine. Just pick him up and throw him. And like Logan, when he runs down those guys in the woods and he's just hacking and slashing and just running, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's awesome. Why couldn't they do that? Like, I get it. It was more. I think this was a PG movie. I'm pretty sure, but you can do so much more. Also, did Cyclops even like shoot any beams, or was he like unconscious for like 3/4 of this movie?
He was like unconscious. I don't even remember. He was unconscious for most of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. They just that's the
until like he wakes up and then like once Jean and Storm and everyone come to everyone's going to rescue him because it's after they pick up Wolverine and all them too, and Mystique and Magneto. The whole crew's there. Right. That's when Scott wakes up, like when they go there to save Professor X and like he's reunited with Jean. Right.
So it's like I think the story is PG-13. Okay. Yeah. Well, then they could show a little bit more of Wolverine hacking and slashing. You don't have to show blood and stuff. I don't know. Also, I hate how they tease us with Sentinels in this movie, and then we don't see a Sentinel. I hated that. That pissed me off. That
Movie
always
3,
pissed me off.
where we just saw the like head. I was like,
Oh,
they
was that
clearly
3?
didn't have the budget. Yeah, there's like they just couldn't afford it.
Oh.
I assume.
I
they
thought
like
it
start
was
the
this
film
one.
with like the giant
Hey,
head.
at
inside
least we'll be
the thing,
talking about
yeah.
him in another movie down the line, though.
Yes,
That is true.
and they look cool too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for
So,
that.
yeah, I feel like X2. It just has I think the best part about it is just the overall story that they tell.
Yeah.
I
'Cause the
think
action
it's
really
the only
isn't.
movie that makes this trilogy even feel like a trilogy, because it feels like all the connected threads to, like, even from 1 to 3, without X2, none of it would make any sense. Like, if you watch X2,
So you're
you've basically seen this trilogy's fucking story. Because if you watch the first one, you're not going to get anything, really. If you watch the last one, you're just going to get a destruction of
Crazy
everything that
Jean
they
Grey.
built in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
think
this film is easily the most narratively rich film of the 3. Action-wise, like, none of them were that amazing, but I don't really care in this movie specifically, because I was so grabbed by the plot, and specifically Brian Cox. Like, oh, that man had me. And I understood his motives, even though I completely disagreed with this man.
I just think this one also just feels more like an X-Men film. Like, out of these first 3 films, they often do feel like it's a Logan movie, it's a Wolverine movie, and then the X-Men are there. This one does feel like, there's such a more presence to, like, the school and the students, and, like, that attack on the school scene, I think, is, like, really sick, and getting to see the different mutants use their powers and like, different ways, and it feels like there's much more of a, like, variety on the characters that we focus on outside of just, like, Logan. And I feel like we kind of go back on that in our next film, but, like, I don't know, there's just, like, you have Bobby using his ice powers, you have, like, Kitty using her powers for a second, and you have Colossal there, and, like, there's cool stuff here that I feel like the other ones don't really get around to, like, using.
This is kind of a question that I don't know either of you know. Can Colossus turn off and on his powers? I always thought
I was wondering that same thing when I saw that shit. I'm like, wait, he's in human form? I thought he was just a metal man. Am I wrong?
Typically, I think he can change, like, in like X-Men, the animated series. I think he can kind of go back and forth from human to Metal Man.
Okay, so he can still live a normal life and shit.
Yeah,
you can clearly tell me and Braden have only seen him really in Deadpool, and that's why we're just like, wait a second.
We're only remember him from Deadpool.
Like, I really am not, like, a expert on these characters. I just watch them sometimes because I think they're cool. Like, I was like, I don't know. But I think he can. It might just be like, sometimes he can in comics, sometimes he can. I'm not sure how they write him.
Bro, I literally had to, like, because I didn't know if I just looked away for a few seconds or something, and it was a different character entirely beforehand or after. But I saw Colossus on screen, and then I see, like, a human, and I'm like, wait, is that Colossus? Did he just fucking change? I had to rewind that to make sure my eyes didn't deceive me.
I'm also not sure what he does at the school, because he doesn't look like a student. Like, he looks like a full-on, like, adult in these movies.
Yeah,
like,
that's a little problematic. Who is he rooming with exactly? We need to investigate Colossus right now.
It's like, is he like a really, really old student, or is he like a teacher, or like...
They ever even say what his role is in the Deadpool movies? Or because they showed him at the X-Mansion.
Yeah.
I think in the Deadpool movies, he's just a part of the X-Men.
The X-Men, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like, kind of what...
Yes, that's what makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in Deadpool 2, they had the whole thing with him being Deadpool joining the X-Men, and then he shoots someone. They're like, wait, no!
Yeah.
He can't wait to talk about those movies. Just Deadpool and Colossus, best thing fucking ever. Best, like, it's bromance in movies.
I'm so happy that he's back.
I think Colossus might be their Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. I think that's who he is. I think that's
yes! Has he been going for more than a year? Is he the only teacher to ever do it?
No. See, he gets introduced in X-Men 2, and then in X3, he's there, but it's like, what is he doing there? Because he's like there, and then he's not. So I think he's just kind of like, I don't know. He got on like the X-Men crack or something like that, and
I don't know,
dipped out. Who knows?
Okay.
But back to what you were saying about the school feeling, like you see like the students using their powers and everything. Yeah, you don't really see a lot of kids doing much in the first one. Like you have that one scene when they introduce Rogue to everybody and all that and everything else. And then in the third one, you see everybody at Charles's funeral. But in this one, it does feel like it's a real school.
Right.
Like in the first Spider-Man and stuff, that's kind of like one of the complaints, or not complaints, but just the thing people find and pick at is like it doesn't feel like a real school. But then it's like you look at Spider-Man Homecoming and it's like it feels like a real high school. There's bulletins and stuff, everything up. It feels like it's real high schoolers because they are real high schoolers. They're not 30-year-old actors. It feels like high schoolers and it feels like a real school, where this feels like the real X-Men. Like there's just a kid up late watching TV, blinking his eyes, changing the channel.
Wolverine comes in, dude. Wolverine felt like such like a uncle or something when he walked in. He's like,
he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing up?
Can't sleep. He's like, yeah, me either. He walks in and Iceman's there. He's like, Jesus, does anyone sleep around here? Apparently not.
But
fuck Iceman's parents, or fuck Iceman's brother.
Yeah, it's his brother.
Fuck his
brothers. This is Professor Logan.
What's he a professor of?
I loved the scene
art
where I didn't love it, but I thought it was really funny where like the mom's just like, well, can't you just like not be a mutant? I was just like, that line has aged so well. That is so funny.
Can't you just like not? And I agree with you, because it's just like a parent just being like, can you just like not be gay or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, can you just not?
This integral part of you, can you just not do that, please? Because it makes me uncomfortable.
You know who? You know what you can't help you are. Can you just not be that? Can you just be something else?
Yeah. Be exactly what I want you to be, not what you are.
Be a human, Bobby.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
I don't remember what the dad said, but the dad said something that like pissed Wolverine off, and he's like, and it kind of like got, I don't know. I just wish you would see more of like a, not aggressive side, but like more of like a Logan side, like to the Wolverine character in these movies, where he is not afraid at any point to like pick you up and hold you up and like put that claw like he did in the first movie. Put that claw
we didn't even talk.
That
was one of the better parts of the first movie. We didn't even talk about it. But the bar scene,
the bar scene. But putting that claw right at that guy's chin. I wish they'd showed more of that Logan. But he kind of feels more tamed, and I think it's probably because during this time, Hugh Jackman was loved in these movies, so like showing him as kind of a psychopath that he kind of is. I say psychopath, but you know what I mean, like kind of a crazy guy, like how Wolverine really is very unhinged. He probably wouldn't have flown that well, and people wouldn't have responded well to that. So I get it, but
yeah, I mean, I think Logan as a character is always very interesting, because like I feel like, as much as I do love Hugh as that character, like I think he's such a good version of that character. Like, I don't know if he's almost like a Chris Hemsworth Thor, or like a Chris Evans, or like, you know, like a Chris Evans Cap, where like no one else could play this character, because I can see a world where other people are playing that character and potentially better. Not because Hugh wasn't good, but I feel like they almost didn't let Hugh Jackman play the Wolverine that a lot of people know as that character.
I don't know if it's just the Batman fan in me, but I feel like literally any character can be that. Like, I don't think Chris Evans, like, I think someone can do Captain America better than Chris Evans. Will we ever get that in our lifetime? Who the fuck knows? I think someone can play Iron Man better than Robert Downey Jr. potentially. There's a lot of talented people out there.
Right, sure.
You never know. Like, who the fuck, I mean, it's going to be hard to top Heath Ledger's Joker. Like, who the fuck ever thought Heath Ledger was going to be the best Joker ever, though? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'd say Mark Hamill would be a better Joker.
I mean, Mark Hamill is still my favorite Joker, but
I'm not sure.
he's my favorite Joker.
It shouldn't be.
I grew up with.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is my Joker. Kevin Conroy's my Batman. I grew up with those versions, so like no one's ever gonna top them. They're just too close to
The
my
guy-
heart. Like in that case, yeah, no, you can't be topped. I'm not.
The guy who
Hugh's pretty
played,
close to being that for me, though. I love Hugh's Wolverine.
The guy who played Cal Kestis in the Star Wars game and played that one dude in Shameless, that's my Joker.
Oh yeah, from a Gotham.
From Gotham, yeah, that's my Joker.
Jeremiah, right?
Yeah. That's my
He was
Joker
great.
right there.
Yeah.
Cameron Monaghan or whatever his
It's
name is.
something like that. I couldn't
It's in
remember.
Prom 3.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
There's-
about. He was the best
there's-
Joker in Gotham.
Was he really?
Yeah, no, he was easily. If you're talking about who, he was technically he technically was the last version of the Joker, I guess, like their season 5 version, right, Darren? Because he played. They did this thing, right, Andrew? They did this fucking thing where there were twins, and one of them was the Joker. Then he like turns the other one into the pseudo Joker, basically. He kills that Joker, so he's now the real Joker, I guess. Gotham got crazy, dude.
Show. Like it's
Gotham got weird.
Gotham being like, okay, this is what happened, and people just being like, what are you talking about,
bro? I don't even feel like I'm sane describing some of the stuff that happened in Gotham. Like when Penguin,
I think y'all are just making this up.
like when Penguin feeds that fucking lady, like her kids. I'm like, what the fuck is happening, bro? What am I watching? Yeah.
They turned it. They had like a 14-year-old like Poison Ivy turn into like a full adult, and then she's like with men throughout the show, and it's like, but
Gotham is insane, dude. It has no fucking boundaries. I swear. It went off the rails super early, and it never got back on. But I feel like it might be better that it never got back on. Season 4 of that show is my favorite, and that's the second to last season.
Yeah, I think y'all are just making up a bunch of stuff and trying to get me to believe it.
No.
I don't think anything y'all said is true.
All the Gotham fans, let us know in the comments down below. You want a Gotham episode?
All
so
three
when
of
Harley
you.
got turned into a ham sandwich, it was greatness.
That didn't happen.
I was gonna say that was actually believable. That sounds like something that they would do in a show like that.
That one was believable?
Yeah, man. You think I believe that a penguin fed some lady her kids on a Fox show? No.
Aaron, am I misremembering that?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
And I can tell you I can't tell you the specific episode, but it was season 2, and it was this arc with like Penguin and his father, and it was like it was his wife or whatever. She was just using his father, so like he got super upset with her. He murdered her children and cooked them and served them to her.
No, I think you were watching Hannibal.
God.
No, that's just Riverdale. I swear.
I've never seen Riverdale.
Riverdale is nuts too, but I don't.
I guarantee they would do that.
I don't think it's as consistently. I don't know. It's insane. It's as insane as Gotham is, but it's insane in a completely different way.
They did the multiverse. I don't know.
What? I haven't seen that. What season is that? I've seen through. Wait. Oh
they
fuck.
literally do.
How many seasons are there? 7?
Yeah, I think season 6. Like they start.
I haven't seen that one. I saw the first 5.
The superheroes. It's
okay, dude. Okay. There is one more thing I want to say about X2. I don't know if you guys have anything else, but this is the last thing I want to bring up. At the beginning of the movie, when Wolverine comes back, he has this like whole interaction with Jean, and they start making out for a minute. And Jean like pushes him away, like, "Don't make me do this. Don't make me do this, Logan." He's like, "Make you do what?" And there's like that whole thing, and she's like, "Yeah, this."
She says this.
Then later on, Mystique is fucking disguised as Jean and like getting it on with Logan, and Logan realizes it's her. And they reference the last movie. Like, what did Mystique say? Like, I've never met anyone that like stabbed as hard as you.
That left a scar like this.
Yeah, it left a scar like
that.
Yeah.
And it's the 3 marks that he stabbed her in the bottom of the Statue of Liberty and left her there to bleed out. But she turned into a cop and got medical attention.
Yeah. So I don't know. Something I do kind of hate about these movies is that You want Wolverine? You
like-
want Wolverine with Jean so much more than you want Scott with Jean, and I'm like, I hate that about it. I'm like, I want to root for Scott. I want Scott to be with Jean because I feel
very
like that
one-sided. Yeah.
it suits that relationship. Just makes more sense to me than fucking Wolverine and Jean does.
Right.
But they so want you to root for Wolverine and Jean in this trilogy. It's kind of annoying.
I don't know. I feel like they should have done it where Jean wanted Wolverine, but Wolverine didn't want anything to do with her, kind of thing.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if you look at it, Wolverine's kind of a douchebag.
Right.
Why would you like that character that is actively trying to steal somebody's girl?
That's what I'm saying. They want you to root for Wolverine and Jean, but even though like they don't make you want it, I still want Scott and Jean just because it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, and Wolverine's a fucking
and especially,
douchebag.
yeah, I was about to say, when Wolverine's this much of a fucking dick, yeah, I'm gonna root for Scott, the guy that doesn't do anything besides,
Yeah, give Jean
kinda
all her love and attention.
Yeah, trashes on Wolverine every now and then, but well, I mean, Wolverine kind of fucking deserves it because of all the things we just said.
Poor Scott. Scott deserves better.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
Good thing that all
James
gets
Marsden.
rectified.
Have you seen Sonic 2 yet?
Of course I've seen
Dude,
Sonic
James
1.
Marsden is, well, he's in both of them, but, you know, Sonic 2 is
that's
better
who
than
that
Sonic
is?
1. Yeah, dude!
I didn't even recognize that
That's
was
James
him. I'll be honest.
Marsden, bro. Yeah, he's Sonic's father, basically.
Oh, and he's in Hop as well.
Hop?
Yeah, the Illumination movie Hop.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Okay, do you
It's
guys have
not
anything
good.
else to say about X2, though, before we move on to the last stand?
I really like the scene where he's like breaking out of prison and he's like using the like metal plates to walk through the like area. I was like, all right, that's pretty.
How much iron did Mystique put in that dude's blood? Damn. Because you know he has enough to make all the little balls. Then he has enough to make the little plates that he can stand on and walk. And I know he's like reusing them and stuff, but damn, how much iron? Why did that dude not like die before he ever got back to work? You would think that much iron in his blood would like kill him or something.
Yeah, that giant fucking plate he made, I don't even know how that works, because those two little metal balls, not nearly enough metal to make a whole ass plate to walk on. I don't know where that metal came from. I guess maybe it was outside the cell, like he gathered more metal.
No,
Maybe there
you
were
would
metal
think,
on the walls or something, but you think you would see that?
well, and he could probably pull that, you know, because he literally lifts the Golden Gate Bridge in this next movie.
Yeah. Which is one of the
Which-
few things I knew about the next movie before I watched it in full.
So I guess moving on, now we're talking about X-Men 3.
Best one, clearly.
The last time that we see the X-Men doing the X-Men thing together for the last time that they stand. That's the name of that movie.
They don't have 10 more movies, right?
No, this is the last one.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is the last one. Deadpool 3, that's not an X-Men movie at all.
No, that's a Deadpool
So-
movie, you idiot.
Yeah,
So
that's
I have a weird thing with this movie.
well, it's not even
because-
Deadpool 3. I'm sorry, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, what were you saying there?
Okay.
No, I mean, I have a weird thing with this movie because it's the first X-Men movie I've ever seen. Like this was the
R.I.P..
first thing I started with, and it's probably the worst one to start with. Like, I
Wait,
thought,
this was your
"Alright,
first X-Men movie?
first X-Men movie."
Oh,
And it's like,
no!
"Alright, let's kill
Oh,
off all
no!
your characters.
The
It was
fact
bad. I hated it. I was like, what did they do with all my characters?
Oh, okay. So you had seen the show though before,
Yes,
right?
I had seen.
Okay, that's good.
Wolverine-
This was at least this wasn't your introduction to the fucking
Yes, I
X-Men.
had seen all 3 shows prior, and I loved these characters. And then this was just like, yeah, they're all dead. Good luck with that.
Yeah, half of them are here. The other half are dead.
It's like, who's your favorite character? Cyclops. Oh, you're gonna love him in this movie.
In the first
They're
5
like-
minutes.
They're like, well, if your favorite character isn't Wolverine, too bad. They're not alive anymore.
Yep.
Hey, essentially, Magneto didn't die either, right? Or no, did Magneto? I don't remember.
No, he lived.
Okay, that's what I thought.
They set up another movie at the end of this one though.
Yeah.
That they could have done something with.
Which we don't get back to, right? Like, we don't get back to most
No.
of these
That's
stuff.
dropped entirely.
As
is
it should,
never-
as it should be, because this movie, A Last Stand, ruined like any potential
Right.
the potential in the future. Like, where interesting can you go from here? All your fucking interesting characters are dead.
Oh, we were talking about this earlier, and I don't mean to bring it back up, but I kind of want to watch the Marvels just
I
because I've
watched it.
seen. I know you told me not to.
Oh, did
You
I? I went out of my way to
outright
tell
said-
you to not watch that.
You said the only thing you need to know about this movie is somebody gets sent through like a wormhole or something like that, and they wake up to beasts. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then you're like, "Yeah, other than that, don't watch it." I was like, "All right, fair enough."
I literally just told you the post credits scene. Told you not to watch
post credit.
Yeah, and I told you not to watch the actual movie.
Yeah, you told me the post credit. I will skip just to the post credit scene, I guess.
Okay,
Did anybody ever see Miss Marvel?
Yes. That's what I was going to say.
No, I didn't.
I would say if you like that show, you would love this movie. But if you don't know that character, and if you don't know the like if you haven't seen the show, you're probably not going to like it.
Yeah,
but I love the show.
Big hands.
Right. I love the show, so I loved the movie. So because like she holds the movie together. Like she is the best part of the film. If like she wasn't in it, I don't think it would work at all.
Nah, I still don't think it works, but I don't know her.
Who was the girl from Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness?
What was her name?
I know her name. Like her name, like the actress's name was like
right.
XO or something like that. XIO or something.
Right.
She had like a cool name.
I always blank on her name when I have to talk about her.
Where the heck is this?
Speaking of
America Chavez.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Young Avengers.
Her first name is America.
Hell yeah.
We should know that, yeah.
Is she gonna be was she in like has she been in anything else since then?
No, but rumor is that she's part of the Young Avengers. So
the Young Avengers, okay.
So we'll hopefully be seeing
the one with Kate Bishop and the Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah, they start setting that up in the thing. The Marvels, that one. Not the Thing, not the John Carpenter film, The Thing.
But back to
do we have to
X3,
go back?
I guess. Yes, we do. Because this is
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! Best part of the movie.
I unironically love that sequence. Him just running through the building and
I mean, I ironically like it, but it's still unironically the best part of this movie.
It's so good. The only
also, I didn't know fucking what is a. Sorry, continue. I'll get to it in a minute.
The only thing that would make it better if he had his big giant red suit. Like if he had his stupidly looking red Juggernaut suit, it'd be peak. It'd be a great scene.
Oh yeah. Also, yeah, I forgot that Elliot Page was Kitty Pryde because I'm pretty sure they're also Kitty Pryde in Days of Future Past, right?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know.
But Kitty Pryde's whole thing in that movie is just holding Wolverine together, basically. That's her role, which is an integral one, but she doesn't really do much as a character.
Oh, this is once again, I am the king of getting things off topic. If you go to Disney Plus and you look at the Defenders tab, by the way, Echo is now in the Defenders tab.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool. If you look at Mutant Legacy, the first movie that pops up is the best one, The New Mutants.
Yes, of course. Can't wait to talk about it.
Oh, yes. I unironically love that movie.
I don't love it, but it's fine.
You like the giant bear within?
Sure.
Dude, Hannah Montana?
No!
Anya Taylor-Joy, she was Hannah Montana in that movie.
What?
No.
She was not Hannah Montana.
She looked like Hannah Montana. I kept making this comment in the theater. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember.
Oh my god,
that.
she literally looked like Hannah Montana, bro.
She was the best character in that movie, I
mean,
think.
she was, because she's the best actress in that movie, but...
Maisie Williams is a pretty good actor.
I'm probably just biased towards Anya Taylor-Joy. She's pretty good.
Ooh, Last Night in Soho.
Oh, it's so good. Have you seen The Menu?
The Menu?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Watch them. If it's still on Max,
really
watch
good.
it. Watch it. If you want to see a good horror... Well, I wouldn't even classify it as horror.
No. Thriller.
If you want to see like a good like thriller suspense type movie, I would recommend it. Also, Voldemort. Well, I'm not blanking on actor names tonight, dude. Who played Voldemort?
Oh.
Drake
Oh my
Bell.
god. No.
Josh Peck.
No, what?
Oh,
It's gonna come to me before I even get to it.
Mark
Maybe
Ruffalo.
not. No, you're not even in the ballpark right now, man.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Lord Voldemort. You're in the ballpark now, but no.
Emma Watson.
No.
Huge Jackman. Oh yeah.
Ray Fiennes, of course, Ray Fiennes. Ray Fiennes in the Menu, fucking awesome. He's like, is he the lead or is Anya the lead? I don't know. They're co-leads in the movie though. They're both terrific.
Here's a question for you guys. Who would win? The team in the X-Men The Last Stand, you know, the team who took the last stand at the island, or the Marvel Inhumans?
I've never seen Inhumans. Well, they have Black Beetle, don't they? They're
Black
Black
Beetle,
Bolt.
Black Bolt.
Black Bolt, yeah. I
Yeah,
know Black Beetle is a fucking villain from the Reach from Young Justice Season 2. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Jesus, they're both comic
talking
characters. Give me
Jean
a
as well?
goddamn break, okay? What?
are we talking like Jean, or is it just like our team?
Yeah, you can throw Jean in there too.
I'd say maybe Jean beats Black Bolt, maybe.
Well, I mean,
Possibly.
Scarlet Witch just made his mouth disappear and his head explode, so
Yeah.
That was so stupid.
Jean could just, Jean could beat Thanos.
Yeah.
She did the snap before it was cool.
Very much so, yeah.
So.
It makes sense because it wasn't cool in this movie.
Yeah, I think the best part of this movie. What were y'all talking about? Juggernaut running through the walls. I think the best part of this movie was the breakout scene on the trailer.
Mm,
I liked it,
sure.
where Mystique sacrifices herself for Magneto, and then he's just like, "See you later, bitch."
I just fucking hate it. Yeah, she's no longer one of us.
I mean, that's fair.
You were so beautiful. I'm like, man, dude, I hate that. I hate that writing though. Like, I'm like, why would you take Mystique out of the fucking movie so quickly? She's so good.
Oh, I thought you were saying you didn't like Magneto ditching her. I was like, that made so much sense. Magneto
No, that made sense. Yeah, it's very in character, but just fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, why would you? Oh, fuck, dude. Just the writing of this movie is abysmal. I hate it.
One thing,
Cyclops, nothing death. Professor X, nothing death. Mystique, nothing sacrifice. She didn't die, but like everything held no weight, no emotion. It felt like nothing. That's why the Juggernaut running through walls is the best part of this freaking movie, because at least that's entertaining.
we can say what we want, but I think the writing for Magneto in this movie is almost perfect, because
I think he's good here. Yeah.
Yeah, if you listen to the way he talks, he's
I
like,
mean, character-wise, he's probably the best in this movie.
Yeah, he's like, this is not something that they
I
should
didn't
have.
understand why Jean was like on his side so much though. I'm like, why is Jean not just fucking killed this guy?
Because he wasn't trying to control her, so she's just cool with it. Basically, is what I kind of understood from it. You're right. It didn't really make sense why Jean was there.
I think the issue with this movie ultimately is that it's two films. Like, they clearly made one film about the like mutant cure, and then they did your like Dark Phoenix thing. And I think if you took out all the Dark Phoenix things and then spent more time on the cure and what you had to do there, it's solid. Because I think all of that aspects are solid things. Like, and I think it's one of the most like interesting like X-Men stories, because I have no idea where I would side with it. Because like, if I lived in a world with mutants, I would not want someone that could lift my house with their mind. Like, I might be pure mutant cure. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? So, like, I think it's fascinating. I think they do some cool things with it. It's just you don't have enough time. Like, you have to speed through so much because there's so much to, like, do when you have the Phoenix stuff and you have the cure stuff, and you have to rush through everything.
You're right. It does feel like two different movies. You say that and it makes so much sense, because it feels like, one of my favorite characters in this movie specifically was Angel, because when he's standing there shirtless and those wings come out, he looks like a total badass.
He does, yeah.
And then you don't see him, and then he shows up at the mansion, and then he shows up at the end of the movie to save his dad.
Right.
It feels like there was a whole thing missing with him.
Right. totally.
Yeah, he felt
so-
like, especially since he was in the prologue of the movie. Like, I mean, I guess Nightcrawler. Well, Nightcrawler's in the prologue of X2, but he still has like a pretty important part in the whole plot of the film. Angel just kind of feels like he's there.
Nightcrawler is in the entirety of X2, though.
Right.
Yeah, and he's tied to the main plot because you figure out that White House attack was Stryker controlling Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler didn't even remember that whole thing.
Yeah. And so, but Angel, like, yes, his dad is the one who created the cure, and his dad wanted to use the cure on him. Then he jumps out the window. You don't see him. Then he shows up at the mansion after Professor X is dead. And then you see him at the end of the movie save his dad. And then you see him one more time when Magneto is sitting in the park. But it's just a flyover is all it is. And that's it. That's all you see him. And it's like, what was the point of showing us this like cool character? As bad as Apocalypse is, I think he gets used better in Apocalypse than he does in this movie. And that movie's fucking terrible. It just goes to what I think we've talked about in every single one of these. Is just the bad writing.
Yeah.
Like for certain characters.
Yeah, and how did they describe the Phoenix Force in this movie? Like it was something that was always inside of Jean Grey or something like that?
Yes.
I hated that.
Charles built walls up in her mind to keep her like at 50% power. Because if he let her do exactly as she wanted, let her use her full ability, she'd be lost to it.
Right.
See, because in the comics, the Phoenix Force is like its own entity.
It's a cosmic force that.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Dark Phoenix.
That's why Jean Grey is so powerful, because it's her power and the Phoenix's power together. That's a lot of fucking power. Phoenix already has enough power; just needs a host to like channel that power. And getting an already powerful fucking host to channel your power plus their power. Yeah, the Phoenix. It makes sense why they can wipe out everything. But it being inside of her, like always, is lame because it's its own entity, like we said.
Yeah, it's like this like Jekyll and Hyde thing that it's very clear that they didn't have time and they rushed through the entire opening of what happened with Jean. Like you like start off the movie and like she's dead, and then like 2 seconds later it's like actually no she's not. It's like wait, how did that happen? I don't know. She's just back now. I was like okay, I guess. Like and like they rush through all these things. Like Scott dies. That should be a big thing, and no one seems to care. Like Logan doesn't seem to care. Xavier doesn't really seem to care. There's like 2 seconds to be like, he's dead. All right, let's go fuck Jean now. Like it's such a weird, like the pacing is so.
Yeah, there's no time to mourn these characters. It doesn't feel like any of the other characters feel anything from the loss of these other characters. I'm like, bro, I feel like I'm more upset that Cyclops is dead than any of these fucking characters do. Like I'm pissed right now.
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and
I don't like this movie.
Yeah, this one sucks because, like, again, I do like stuff here. Like, I love Beast here. Beast is cool here. We just don't. I don't think
he's barely in the movie. It feels like he's barely in the movie.
Yeah, and again, like, I love the idea of having him be here, like having someone from that OG group come in and be a part of this group because his family is dying off and they're turning into villains, and you know, obviously he has this like split thing where he's part of the government, but he's also a mutant, and he has this back and forth. Like, I think this could have been really cool. Like, this could have been a Beast film. Like he should have been one of the main focuses, and he's just there.
I think Kelsey Grammer is like the best Beast too. I think he has the best look.
Sure.
Because I don't really remember what he ends up looking like in like First Class and Days of Future Past, but he just wasn't. He just didn't look like Beast, you know?
Right.
I'm pretty sure the first time we see him in the X-Men cartoon, he's like hanging upside down, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like we see that from Hank McCoy in like Days of Future Past or in First Class and whatnot. He does that, but I don't know. I think Kelsey Grammer looked the coolest.
Right.
It's a coat.
What do you mean it's the coat? Oh, the half coat he has?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine. That makes all the difference.
His face doesn't look as good. Kelsey Grammer, he just had a better look. I stand by that. I don't think anybody will tell me different.
I mean, he's the Beast I think of, and he's in less movies than the other Beasts, so I mean, I guess you're not wrong.
Yeah. I don't even like Beast that much as like a character. I'm not saying like
really?
bad or anything, Well, no, I just mean like I like him as a character. He's not like one of my favorite X-Men or something.
Really?
But the fact that I take a actual stand to be like, no, this one's a lot better than the other, and I have no like tie to like really liking him.
Right. I think he might be I don't know if he's my favorite, but I think he's in my top 2 or 3. I think he just adds a lot to their team as far as like your moral compass, and I think he adds something that Xavier doesn't quite add. Like, I think they can often kind of hold that same place on the team as like the smart moral compass type character, but like, I don't know, there's something about him that I think just kind of fits in very well. That again, I don't think we ever get to see in these films. Like, I don't.
I mean, I would trust Beast before I trusted Professor X, but that's from.
Sure.
I guess I'm an outside point of view. You know, these
Right.
X-Men don't know everything we do.
If you look in the chat real quick, I sent the 2 pictures of the Beast, and you see them next to each other, and you see how much better one looks than the other.
Right.
Yeah. Kelsey Grammer just has that build to it.
God,
yeah,
dude, I forgot that. Oh no, I see why I forget what the other one looks like. I forgot it was that bad. Like, it's not terrible, but it's not good either.
No, that Kelsey Grammer look. God, he's good. But
man. So good. Yeah, the best thing about this movie was just seeing Kelsey Grammer as Beast.
Yep.
Right.
And a lot of things could have been fixed with a better written and a better narrative.
Juggernaut sucked so much.
He did.
He was so bad.
It was such a memorable line, though. Such a meme. Such an iconic.
Do you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! Burst out of the floor.
I think he has good sequences, but the character and like how they used him was bad. That's what I would say. Like, his sequence again when he's like just running through the building, it's like really sick. It's just I don't think they use him properly. Again, like, he's not always a lackey. Like, I feel like there's more to him than that.
How they revealed him was like so lame, and I felt they wanted it to seem more dramatic or something. I feel like Deadpool 2 did what they wanted to, basically.
I was about to say, I think Deadpool 2 did a better job at showing the Juggernaut or like building the Juggernaut up than because when you originally saw Deadpool 2, did you know who was in the basement?
No,
whatever.
I didn't.
I didn't either because I didn't.
I was dude, I went nuts when I saw Juggernaut.
I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, what was the kid's name? What was the kid's name in Deadpool 2?
Oh, Russell.
Yeah, Russell. He's like, I made a friend, and it's the fucking Juggernaut, and it's like, what the fuck? I'm pretty sure that was like Deadpool's reaction was, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right. Him running through the walls and stuff was good. I wish we got to see like more of that in Deadpool 2. I think we got enough of the Juggernaut in Deadpool 2 though to like make up for how, I guess, bad he just looked in this movie. Because, you know, he's just, the look I think is what gets me. The look is just, it just pisses me off.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, the look is terrible. Terrible.
Also,
he looks so good in Deadpool 2 though. I'm glad. Yeah, Deadpool 2 kind of redeemed that character, thankfully.
In
not entirely though, because I don't like how he goes out in Deadpool 2. But we'll get to Deadpool 2 when we get to
you know, you see him getting out of the water, right?
Oh, okay, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like in the background. You see him like his hand come out of the water.
Hell
when we get to Deadpool 2, I'll make sure to like get you the time where you see him come out. But yeah, so in like the cartoon and stuff like that, isn't the Juggernaut Charles's brother?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Like typically
in the comics,
Charles's brother.
Yeah, in the comics, isn't he Charles's brother?
Yeah, a stepbrother.
Stepbrother, okay.
That's why he like has the helmet and shit too, isn't it? Like same reason Magneto does. To keep Charles outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I just thought he had a oddly shaped head and he didn't want anybody to see it.
No, I think it ties to Charles. There's more of an explanation to why he's the Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier, the Sentinel tease. God, that was annoying.
Yeah.
Because the Sentinels were such a key part of like the cartoon and the comics and everything, and the fact that they just teased us with it. And then Well, then again, I guess I am glad they just didn't ruin Sentinels because they were already rushing 2 different stories at once.
Yeah.
So to throw Sentinels in there as well, I guess that would have been a little much.
Sure.
But
Yeah, no. I don't
just
think it would
make a
have been
movie
good.
about just make a movie about Sentinels. Oh wait, they kind of did.
They
And it was
definitely did.
it was probably the best X-Men movie they made.
Oh, wow. Am I the only one that doesn't think that?
No. I mean, I'm saying I think Days of Future Past might be like the best X-Men movie,
I agree.
but or not. First Class, in my opinion, might be the best X-Men movie, but Days of Future Past is like of equal quality, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think,
Yeah. I like First Class better just because of the thing we were talking about with Magneto and stuff earlier.
So
that was
good.
so good.
And
But-
fucking Kevin Bacon as the villain, he's so good. He's so good.
So this has the second best, I think, Golden Gate Bridge scene out of any movie I've ever seen, though.
Say second best?
Yeah, the
How many-
first best.
How many Golden Gate Bridge scenes have you seen in movies?
I couldn't tell you, but I know of 2, and I know this one ranks second.
I know what number 1 is then. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which is far better than...
Everybody, you've been tricked. Now we're going to start talking about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. We got you. We got you to listen to the X-Men for us to talk about a monkey movie now.
This is actually our Dawn of the Planet of the Apes episode.
Yeah, so Darren, tell us about Planet of the Apes. What did you think about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes?
Haven't seen any of them. Not a one.
What? Wait, you've
out,
never seen
leave.
those? You've never seen those?
Not a
Leave.
single one.
You
but I
have to
will
watch
soon.
them, bro. You have
I
to watch them
will.
before Kingdom. You have to watch them before the new one.
I am.
Good,
And I'm
yes.
planning on.
We're
I kinda wanna
converting
do,
people.
Like, a binge of like what, all 8 of them? Like I want to.
There's 8?
I think so.
Oh, like, yeah, there's the...
Oh,
They're
the
only-
originals?
Are they only 4 originals? Or are there 8 right now before the new one?
I'm
I
not
think there's
sure.
6 original movies.
Is there 6? Okay.
Well, there's
think
the Tim
there's
Burton
6.
one also.
Oh, yeah.
And then I know they have some like TV shows as well. I'm not sure if I'll do those.
Let me just tell you, I did watch the first Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a rough watch.
That's what I'm scared of. The
It's
Tim Burton...
it's a really rough watch.
Probably for different reasons, but the Tim Burton one, also rough watch. I love Tim
But
Burton, but that movie...
if you're into reading, I have started reading the Planet of the Apes book,
Oh, interesting.
and I'm not a reader, but I really enjoy it. So
heard.
I'm on like chapter 3. So been reading it for about 3 months. So a chapter a month.
Is there anything else we want to say about Last Stand at all? Because I've said my piece. I'm pretty sure. I don't. Or well, I guess you were talking about the San Francisco scene, or were you just gonna say it's the second best?
Yeah, that was the only thing I had to
Okay.
say about the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, the 49ers suck.
Yeah, fire Kyle Shanahan.
All right, Aaron, do you have any last thoughts on the Last Stand?
Last Stand. No. Just I wish it was different. Like I wish it was better. Like there's cool things in here. I like Pyro. Like the like.
I just wish it didn't
cool.
suck, man. That's all.
I wish it was a good movie. I don't know. But yeah, I'm very much dreading our next couple films, though. I will say that. Like,
Oh, do you not
I
like
prefer-
either the Wolverine movie, either of the first two?
I don't like our
Wolverines?
next one.
Okay,
I don't like
I've
our
never seen our next one, so I'm
Oh,
scared.
really?
Never seen X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh.
No.
Oh, you're in for it. I think this is much better than that one, in my opinion.
Oh no, no, Andrew, do you agree with that?
When you see him deploy those super CGI claws, you will hate yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that movie goes down as one of the worst comic book films of all time, I'd say.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh my god,
It-
I completely forgot that that's the one that has Deadpool in it.
Yeah.
Oh
Spoilers, I guess.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, spoilers
we-
for the worst movie that's probably ever been made in the X-Men franchise.
Yeah,
Oh,
And there's
dude.
a lot of bad ones.
easily the worst one. Yeah.
Man, yeah, well, terrific. This is also its 15-year anniversary, isn't it? It came out in 2009, right?
Oh,
That's
Probably.
sad.
9 years after. That's actually kind of crazy.
I will say this, Hugh Jackman's good in it.
Hugh
I think he's always
Jackman's
good though. Yeah. Has
And
he made
Ryan
a
Reynolds-
film?
Can
Yeah,
it be
Ryan
any
Reynolds
worse
is
than
good.
Reminiscent, which is a film with Hugh Jackman that came out a few years ago? That is just it took me, dude. It took me like 5 attempts to watch this fucking movie.
I would have stopped after like barely one.
Yeah, I probably should have. And is it gonna take? How many attempts will it take me to finish X-Men Origins Wolverine?
I'll-
Can I? Will I get through it in one sitting?
You could. We're saying it's bad, but it's got enough stupid shit that kind of makes you laugh, I think.
Yeah.
That'll kind of keep you in it. But like when they go in and then they
I've
start
seen some of
talking
the
and
like
stuff,
Wolverine Deadpool stuff, like just throughout the years. That's basically all I know from this movie is the Deadpool shit.
I will tell you this: the Blob is in this movie.
Oh, I think I knew that. I've heard that. I'm not seeing the scene or anything, but I knew that he was in this movie.
Green Lantern is also in this movie,
I don't believe you.
and Superman,
Free
and
guy.
Superman.
Green Lantern
And-
isn't in any movie.
Oh, because he died. Ryan Reynolds died.
Ryan Reynolds never played
He
Green
never
Lantern.
took it. Yeah.
He never took
he
that
not?
job. Did you not see Deadpool shoot Ryan Reynolds before he fucking signed that
Doesn't
contract?
Oh, this is a bit of a. Have either
Green
of you-
Lantern, the movie, does not exist in the X-Men timeline.
Okay. Braden, have you watched The Office ever?
Yes.
You did? I couldn't remember if you
Yes,
did or didn't.
I watched it all, yeah.
Yeah. Darren, have you ever seen The Office before?
I've seen like the first 3 episodes. I didn't like it.
Okay. Well, let me recommend you start with season 2
That's what I
and
did.
watch it. And then
I
you
watched
would-
season 1.
Yeah, then you watch season 1. But
Okay.
so have y'all seen the trailer for that new movie that John
Yes, If.
Krasinski? If.
Yes.
Have you seen the thing with Ryan Reynolds and that
Oh,
dude sitting
yeah.
there?
Yeah.
And he's
It's
like,
really good.
yes. And Ryan Reynolds is like, who are you? He's like, I'm John Krasinski. And he's like, no, you're not. Who are you? That is a
It's such-
scene.
Right.
Yeah, it's the scene from The Office. And when I saw that during the Super Bowl, that
It's really
probably
good.
made that my favorite Super Bowl commercial because that
Oh,
was
the
hilarious.
Dwight Jim thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
I haven't seen The Office, but I've seen that bit so many times.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Ryan Reynolds, that's why I'm so excited for your Deadpool 3, because I know the like, promotion is going to be amazing. Like, all the ads and stuff are going to be top tier.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't been able to say this about an MCU movie in so long, man. I'm ready. I'm so ready for Deadpool 3. I'm so ready. Like I
I'm so
might be
ready.
there opening night, and if I'm there opening night, dude, if I'm there opening night, it's gonna be the first time since Endgame I'm there for a Marvel movie opening night. I didn't even see
Wow.
No Way Home opening night.
I think I saw it fairly early.
I saw it early. I saw it opening
Spider-Verse
weekend, but I did
was
not
awesome.
see it opening night. Like I used to be crazy about seeing comic book movies opening night. Like first night it was fucking available, I was there. Like, dude, we used to go there like 3 to 4 hours because it's before our theater started doing like online seating. You used to go there like 3 to 4 hours before fucking movies just to get in, like get a good seat. Yeah, it was wild. Like for Infinity War, oh my god, right after school, straight to the theater, dude.
Yeah, but Last Stand, that was the last time I wanted to see one of the X-Men movies in with these characters, at least. I say these characters, but
Dude,
the way
I'm
these
glad.
characters were written.
Yeah, and I'm glad there's gonna be a little bit of a break between this and the next ones we're gonna do, because The Last Stand made me not want to fucking watch. Well, it did make me want to watch like good X-Men movies, but it did not make me want to watch most X-Men movies.
So, Darren, the way we rate movies on this is nonsensical and completely off the top of my head. So,
Okay.
I think I've came up with a pretty good rating system, and all of these rating systems will be different for every single one of these movies. That way, it just confuses people and makes people hate me. And the way that we will rate them is how many times would you rather kiss Phoenix Force Jean Grey and disintegrate than rewatch this movie? And so we'll go through each of these. The
Okay.
first one, we'll start with you, Darren. How many times would you kiss Jean Grey instead of rewatching the first X-Men movie?
You know what? That first X-Men movie, I personally have a lot of like like history with, and I can look back at that pretty fondly. So probably only once, I guess, if that's how
Okay,
that
fair
works.
enough. Yeah. You'd only disintegrate one time, so that's fair. That's fair. Brayden.
This is not your best rating system. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it
because
isn't.
This isn't gonna. This isn't gonna
bad.
match. The scores aren't gonna match up for me at all because I'm not gonna fucking kiss Jean Grey and disintegrate over like never watching this movie. So 0.
Yeah, I figured I had to do the lowest, the least one.
Fucking 0, dude. I'm not gonna kiss that bitch. I'll watch the first X-Men. I'm fine with that.
Okay, fine. I don't know a better rating system, so I'm sticking with this, and this is how we're doing it. I would kiss Jean Grey once as well. Moving on to the second one. How many times would you kiss Jean Grey rather than how many times would you die over and over again than watch the second X-Men movie?
None. I like this movie.
Yeah, same here.
0 still. God.
Okay, so the third X-Men movie.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I would kiss Jean Grey an infinite amount of times and rewatch this one.
Seconded. I would die on loops and not have to rewatch this fucking movie.
You would Edge of Tomorrow this movie? Or you would Edge of Tomorrow rather than rewatch this movie?
I would Edge of Tomorrow to avoid this movie.
That's fair.
Oh man. Darren, what about you?
I'd rewatch it.
Oh, wow. So you would rather die than rewatch the first one, but not die than
I
rewatch
thought
The
I
Last
had
Stand.
to. I didn't know 0 was an option.
Okay, so you heard it here first. The definitive rankings are 1 for me, 0 infinite. Darren is 1 0 0, and Brayden is 0 0 infinite. Okay, so I'm glad we got that established.
Oh man. What grades?
Yeah.
So 1 and 2 aren't that bad.
No.
Darren says 1's the worst though.
If you had to rate the trilogy though out of 100, what would you give the trilogy?
Oh man.
See, those two movies really drag it down.
Right.
Out of 100, I'm gonna say a 60.
Yeah.
65 out of 100, mostly because of X2.
Right.
And the first one's not that bad. Okay, it's not that bad.
No, it's not. No, it's fun. It's like I'd probably give it like a 60, high 60, like a 68 maybe. Yeah, it's fine. 69. I don't know.
That's a 62.
There we go. We're all in the ballpark.
Yeah.
I think there's the way that they write Magneto in the third one kind of just makes it better for me because you can tell he's really, still messed up.
I think he's a well-written character all throughout. Like, he's probably really one of the few consistent characters in the fucking trilogy, to be honest.
Right.
In the first one, I think is his worst, kind of the way they wrote him, in my opinion. And then in 2 and 3, he gets a lot better. I just felt like 1 was just a drag, kind of. Like at times, it just kind of drug. Right. And that's kind of what holds it back for me.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Overall, not terrible. Not like the greatest trilogy ever, though. But it's good. Oh, well, X2 is good. You heard it here first. Go watch X2 if you've never seen it.
Yeah, don't watch the other two because they're kind of pointless.
Yeah, but we covered them, so we can say we talked about every X-Men movie once Deadpool 3 gets there.
Yeah. Enjoy Brayden's review of Echo, hidden in that 3-hour episode.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy the other content on my channel at the Red Arrow. And like I said earlier, that mid-plug, we're doing an in-plug now. Go listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcast, subscribe, follow the show if you haven't, leave a review wherever you can, especially if you're on Apple. Help us with the algorithm. Help promote our show, damn it. If you're not listening on YouTube, find it on YouTube at the Red Arrow. You'll find some other stuff there. Subscribe to my channel and all that. Darren, he's got a channel. Darren, you want to plug your stuff?
Yeah, Darren McClymon's over on YouTube. I run the Pipeline Podcast every Thursday with my buddy Connor, who was over on your channel this past week.
That guy, I wonder who Connor. That doesn't ring a bell.
Met him. Nope. But yeah, we do that every Thursday at 4 EST. If you want to tune in live, we're We're live every Thursday talking about all the new MCU and DC and all the crazy stuff that comes out weekly. So find me there.
And Andrew, and I'll ask you this like every other week, and you usually just say no. Do you have anything to plug?
Yes. Check out my new podcast where I talk about snakes. It's called Snake Talk.
Because we
Snake Talk, yes.
Yes. Darren is my co-host.
Right.
This week's episode is talking about gardener snakes. They're small. That's all right. That was it. That was the whole episode. Thanks for joining me, Darren. Darren, you got anything you want to plug?
I got a podcast called Gardener Snakes Plus, which we talk about more gardener
He's just
snakes.
springing this on me here.
It's our new streaming service.
It's a streaming service. Holy shit!
Holy shit! You have a
what is it? Just
service?
live? This dude, he's rolling in it. I wonder how much money he's gonna lose. Disney apparently loses $1 billion a year on Disney Plus.
Damn. You wonder why they even have it.
Yeah, it's a tax write-off. Don't let them lie to you.
We'll be back. We won't be back talking about the X-Men next time. We'll be back with some Elimination Chamber predictions, assuming we can get that in before Saturday. Next Saturday, not tomorrow. Next Saturday.
I was about to say, what? It's tomorrow.
Yo, we're predicting the matches right now.
Oh, okay. Darren, who's gonna win? Becky Lynch or Alexa Bliss?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, wow. Well, that wasn't even a match to begin with, so you got punked.
Yeah, one of those women aren't even active right now. Yeah, until next time.
Bye.